Hi, welcome to 11-5, where we're going to learn how to find the volume of a pyramid. Before we go into how to find the volume of a pyramid, it's very similar to how we find the volume of a regular prism. So, a pyramid is simply just a solid figure with a base that is a polygon. And remember, a polygon is simply a figure with many sides. And the lateral faces are triangles. So for instance, what we mean by a lateral face is we mean like these shaded regions. I'm going to shade them in. Like this is our lateral face, this is our lateral face, this is our lateral face, and then this is our lateral face. A regular pyramid is a pyramid whose base is a regular polygon, and lateral faces are congruent isosceles triangles. A regular pyramid just basically means that all those sides are congruent. A right pyramid has the apex directly above the center of the base. Your apex, you might have heard in the news lately, like in terms of like coronavirus, the apex is where like the tipping point or the max point is going to eventually hit. In the geometric world, we look at the apex as like the tippy top of our pyramid. And then an oblique pyramid, the apex is not directly above the center of the base. So an oblique pyramid is just simply a slanted pyramid. So this is our example of an oblique pyramid. And again, you're not really going to be expected to draw these by hand. They're very challenging to draw by hand. You just need to be able how to break apart the information. And then these are a quadrilateral pyramid where our base is a quadrilateral. And then we have the triangular pyramid. But as always, your volume of a pyramid will be 1/3 b times h. And again, the area of the base will depend on the shape of the base. So it's just going to be exactly how we learned yesterday. Volume equals 1/3 bh. So yesterday it was volume equals bh. Whenever you're dealing with a pyramid, it's volume equals 1/3 bh. Okay. So let's go through our first problem. We want to find the volume of a pyramid that has a square base if the edge of the square is 3 and the height is 2.5 feet. So the first thing we have to do is we have to do an annotation of our question so we know we're dealing with a pyramid. We know we have a square base, and we know the edge of the square is 3 and the height's 2.5. So we know our formula is volume equals 1/3 bh. We know our area formula for a square, because it's a square base, is side squared. So volume equals 1/3 side squared times our height. We're now going to do our substitution. So volume equals 1/3. The edge of the square is 3, so that means our side is 3. And our height of 2.5. You simply just type this all into the calculator, and you get 7.5 feet cubed. That is your final answer. Okay? That is a pretty straightforward question. Now it says for this next example, we want to find the altitude of a pyramid with a hexagon as its base that has an area of 96 radical 3 inches squared and a volume of 640 radical 3 inches cubed. This question looks very complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward. The first thing we do is we write down our volume formula of 1/3 bh. So volume equals 1/3 bh. We know that we have an area of 96 radical 3 for our base, so that's going to go where our b is. So this is our b. So I have 1/3 96 radical 3. I want to find out my altitude, which is my height, so I'm just going to put my h here. And I know my volume is 640 radical 3. So what we're doing with this question is we really want to solve for h. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to simplify the right-hand side of my equation. So I actually want to go into my calculator and type in 1/3 times 96. When I do that, I should get 1/3 times 96 is 32. So I have 32 radical 3 times h, and I just bring down my 640 radical 3. Here's what's nice. I have a radical 3 on both sides. They're going to eventually cancel. So to solve for h, this just becomes divide by 32 radical 3, divide by 32 radical 3, and then boom, I get h equals 20. You just type this into your calculator. So my altitude of my pyramid is 20. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the rest of this page just one more time before we go on to the next part. Again, if you want a blank copy of the notes, please email me and I'll gladly send you a copy. Let's go on to the next part. These questions are a little more challenging. In this question, we're dealing with a student named Anna, and she's a fish tank in the shape of a rectangular solid. That seems important, so we're going to circle or underline the word rectangle. Okay. Rectangular solid. She plans to put 8 fish in the tank. If each fish requires 6,480 cubic inches of space, one of the nice things is we know that this is volume because it's cubic inches, so inches cubed. And the dimensions of the base of the tank are 24 inches by 72 inches. What should be the minimum height of the tank? So whenever we're doing rectangular solid, we know it's volume equals BH. So I'm going to write down immediately volume equals BH. Here's the issue. We know that one fish is 6,480 cubic inches of space. Thing is, she has 8 fish. So we want to find out how much 8 fish take up. So if I want to do this, I can just do like a nice little scale factor. So I'm going to zoom in a little so we can write it out. So 8 fish. And I want to find out how much space they take up with. Well, I know to go from 1 to 8, I just multiply by 8. So now I multiply 6,480 by 8. And I get 51,840. So that is my volume that I'm dealing with. So 51,840 equals, and I know I'm dealing with a rectangle because it's a rectangular solid, so my base is going to be length times width, and then I bring down my height. So I get 51,840 equals, my length and my width are 24 by 72, so I just do 24 by 72. And then I multiply by my height, because that's what I want to find. I want to find out what the minimum height is. So I simplify by multiplying my 72 and my 24, and I get 51,840 equals 1,728 h. I want to solve for h, so I divide both sides by 1,728. And I get h is equal to 30 inches. That is your final answer. So the minimum height of this tank to fit 8 fish has to be 30 inches. Okay. The next question is actually a typo. It shouldn't say find the area, it should say find the volume. So find the volume. In simplest radical form. This is a challenging question. So here's what I'm actually going to ask you to do. This is a pyramid, so we know our volume is going to be 1/3 BH. here's the issue. We don't know our height. So here's your task. This is going to be a nice extra credit problem. What I would like you to do is to tell me the volume. If you want this extra credit, you have to email me your solution. Don't post it on the Google Classroom, just email it to me. This will be an extra credit, so I'm going to write this in, extra credit. Extra credit. And if you email myself and Miss Kimmick your solution, we will give you 4 points towards an assessment. Okay. So here's what we want you to do. You need to use your knowledge of 30, 60, 90 right triangles to help you find your height. That is what we are going to tell you. Okay, so now we are done with today's lesson 11-5, the volume of a pyramid. Your task, complete the independent practice, which will be due not tomorrow, it'll be due Thursday by 11:59. So you have all of today, all of Wednesday, and all of Thursday. Make sure you write down one daily question or one noticing you have based off the material. And as always, if you have any questions, email myself or email Miss Kimmick. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the rest of this page one last time. And remember, extra credits due by, let's make it Sunday night by midnight. Okay, have a great day and stay safe and healthy.